Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Frui's Bakes and Breaks. Today we're going to be making potatoes au gratin. It is like 15 degrees outside here in New Jersey and kind of the perfect day for a nice hearty, questionably unhealthy meal. So we're going to do mince. It's a lot, so I'm going to use this like half, so I don't know. Usually they're small and not very great, so I'm happy to take that problem. Right. This should be good. That's a lot. But love the way shallot tastes and smells, so doing a little quick pass. We have our pan heating up for our roux. It's going to be our butter, flour, and shallot mixture. We're going to use that to thicken it to make the cheese sauce. And I'm just shredding some Havarti cheese right now. We're gonna need about 2 cups. Truthfully, I don't typically measure. I just throw it in, and if there's extra, great. There's always extra. A quick tip is that I use a parchment round. This would go in the bottom of like a 9-inch baking dish when I shred cheese. That way I can just kind of lift it up and nothing sticks to it. Adding in our shallot. Terrible form. No judgment, please. Smells amazing. Let me get the flour ready. So our roux, if we've never covered this, is just a butter and flour mixture, and it's meant to thicken the sauce. So it's kind of just a starter for probably hundreds of sauces, honestly. You use this to thicken anything, and that's all I have to say about it. We're just gonna whisk this in. We're adding shallots the way we did, and I wish you could smell it. You want to add the shallots after the butter. We could have let the butter cook down a little bit more, but the goal with this is not to get brown butter or brown the shallots, it's just flavor. This is gonna bake in a 400-degree oven for hopefully not 2 hours, because I don't want to eat late, but at least an hour and a half, I would say. So the shallots, like, you won't even know they're in there, but they will provide that amazing flavor. I'm microwaving the milk right now to warm it up. And on a funny note, I just realized I microwaved the last sip of coffee and totally left it in there for an hour ago. You can see this get nice and bubbly. It's exactly what we want it to look like. Just a smidge of salt. Do we really need it? Probably not. You know what? On that note, we don't need garlic powder either, but I'm gonna add a splash. I'd say be careful if you're adding from an enormous container like this, because occasionally, and practice what I preach, put it in your hand, then apply. You don't want to accidentally add a ton and then you have to start over. That looks great. Our milk is a little warmed up. Don't ask why I always microwave milk or water if I need to warm it up at 44 seconds. All right, we're gonna add this in. You'll hear like a kind of explosion of sorts. And then very quickly, this will start to thicken. The hotter the pan and the mixture was, the less time it will take to thicken. But I'd say at this point, we need about anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes, honestly. It just depends how hot things are. And then before we finish things off, we'll add in all of the cheese. All right, so while that's going, I'm going to see if I can do this right in the background. Okay, so I have my mandolin. I'm just gonna about the only thing I use this for is this dish for the most part, and then occasionally for something else. I don't have a handguard, clearly I'm not using one, but be careful, this will F you up. When I get down to the bottom, I'll be very careful. And I should say, this is an awful angle. Normally I'd be doing this probably the opposite way, but just to show you one. You could wear like a Kevlar glove even, and see as we get to the end, I'll kind of use both hands. And voila. So this is nice and easy. Once the sauce thickens, we're just gonna add everything in here and then just bake it. You could make the potatoes nice and, you can make them nice and layered and pretty. I've done that. It just takes extra time and in my opinion doesn't make much of a difference. I think our sauce is almost done. I'm gonna turn the heat off while I finish the potatoes. The annoying part of this meal can also be that because I don't air it, see that's what it should look like. Nice and quick. Feels professional when I do it like that. Again, gotta be very careful at the end. Even like a nick, I've got it where like my skin doesn't even break, but I still feel it. And I think for me, that prospect can be fairly frightening. So use a mandolin, be careful. All right, we're looking good. Sauce is definitely about done, so. Ooh, don't get cool. I always tell my son, my older one at least, don't show off. Usually stupid things happen. And inevitably that proves to be true for all of us. So, quick note, being cool is not worth it in the end if you have a massive gash on your hand. Potatoes are good. I am dumping in all the cheese. As a note, I would probably not dump it all in at once, depending on how hot it is, because I didn't time this correctly. And the sauce sat, it wasn't as hot, but this looks pretty perfect if I do say so. Smells great. Again, it's gonna bake for, oh yeah. It's gonna bake for a while, hour and a half probably to 2 hours. Some of it with some foil on, some with it off. All right, here comes the really fun part. So, that mixture we made, we're just dumping it in. I'd say depending on how many potatoes you use, this could be too much. There is only a certain amount of volume that the container can hold. This is an 8 by 8. I don't think I mentioned that. It's the perfect, for this recipe, you can see the sauce is kind of perfect. I'm gonna try to maneuver it around. And I'm gonna go get a spatula as well. So in the spirit of not losing a drop, because look at all that we would have lost. Decent amount. Again, just Havarti cheese, and I should say, the one variable when I make this dish is the type of cheese. You could use, well, I wouldn't use American. You could use a little American for the sauce, but as you can see, like, if you use a good melting cheese, that's not really going to be necessary. All right, if we look kind of at the bottom, so my goal now is if I look down here on all 4 sides, are they like equally sauced? This side is a little less than the rest, so I'm just trying to work this around. Last time I made this, the cheese, it was a 9. Usually it's a 10. So we're going this indulgent, making this. I don't want it to be as perfect as I can do it. Can we get the cheese in every little tiny crack? Probably not. So that's actually where I'm going to stop. All right, and that final step, we're just going to cover this in some foil. Actually, it's final step part A. And part B, we're going to put this on a baking quarter sheet, some foil just in case, and then there's no rhyme or reason. You can be artsy if you want. I'm just doing it to get done quick and into the oven. So we'll see y'all in like an hour and a half. All right, folks, breaking news. Totally forgot I wanted to put broccoli in here. So I basically have some butter Frozen broccoli, we're gonna brown it for like a couple of minutes, and then I'll show you the part where I throw it in with the rest of the potatoes, but it's gonna be as simple as that. We're just combining, adding slightly healthy elements. Right, here we are. POV 10 time. I just added some pepper, but these already look amazing. It's only been 15 minutes. And I am gonna put the camera down. Bear with me 1 second. Alright, so not perfect. It's hard to kind of jam them in, but they're spread out. Everyone will get a little bit when we take some. So that's it, back in the oven. And sadly, gang, I lost the footage of me enjoying this, but I can promise you I ate an entire third in the first sitting, and I hope you make it because it's amazing. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day.